Oh my, I almost didn't make it. I forgot which button to push. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Cindy, good morning. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Barb. Good morning. Gail, good morning, Gail. Gail, did you get my email this morning? Just- We'll just put it back there. All right. Hey, guys, guess what we're doing today? Yep, there were 4 segments in the embroidery toolkit workshop um, at Long Beach, at Impressions Expo Long Beach. Today, um, we're going to feature the 3rd segment, which was presented by Justin Armenta. Justin Armenta has been in the embroidery business since he was a wee little grasshopper. Um, many, many, many years. Um, and his passion is with 3D foam. So that's what we're going to present today. I'm not going to show you how to create a 3D foam design file, but we're going to talk about some of the things regarding 3D foam. Oh, let me catch up on messages here. What do we got here? We got everybody saying hi. Hi, everybody. Oh, Doug's here. Good morning, Doug. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, all right. So, okay. True confessions here. I don't hide anything. So it's, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, today's the ugly. Um, oh, Anthony. Anthony's here. What time is it there? And Jesse's here too. Good morning. Um, Anthony is from down under. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to teach you how to create a 3D design. There are many, 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 many classes out there. Mashid, good morning. Good morning. Mashid was in this class. Yes, she was. Okay. Um, Coffee. Hmm. I'm a spiller. Can you tell? Okay. So 3D foam. I have some slide presentations. Justin gave me permission to uh, present some of his slides. Let me just add this. There we go. What is 3D pop embroidery? It's the process of applying a dense foam. Oh, I was going to make a confession earlier. Here, let's go back. I get so scattered. True confessions. In my work this week, which was a very full week, I kept putting off. My stitch outs, my samples, thinking, oh, I can do that tomorrow. Well, tomorrow became yesterday. Um, so instead of creating a 3D foam design, I pulled one off of the built-in ESA files in Wilcom. And I have to say, I was not overly impressed. I should have just taken the time and built my own. But you'll see the hazards in my samples. All right. Okay. And don't forget, got any questions? Oh, somebody in trouble? Barb's having a snowstorm. Having a snowstorm, about 4 inches on the ground so far, 12 inches forecasted for the day. Good day to watch YouTube and do some laser testing. Yes, it is. We did not have a snowstorm last night. We did have a thunderstorm. We had lots of rain and massive, massive winds. And Barb, you know how the snow usually travels kind of east. We usually get your weather. So I'm going to just put it out there. keep the snow to yourself today, okay? Let's see. I suppose that would help if I took this off, huh? Where'd it go? Oh, there you are. All right. Okay, so like I was saying, good, the bad, and the ugly. My samples are not pristine, not overly happy with them, but I ran out of time. So let's go back to Justin's slide. And what is 3D embroidery? Using a foam topper to go under the stitches, and while the machine is stitching, it cuts that foam, but ultimately it raises up the embroidery element up off the garment. Let's see. Do, do, do. 3D foam. There are different thicknesses. There's 2, 4, 6, 3 millimeter, um, and the densities. There's a soft foam and a really hard dense foam. You're gonna find uh, there's a big there's a big not tech not not it's a trend. Sorry, there's a trend going on right now about using 3D foam on garments on the front of shirts, and it's an awesome technique. And because it's on a garment and you're going to wear it, my thoughts are to use a soft foam, whether it be the 2, the 3, the 4, the 6 millimeter, using a soft foam, because then it's not so hard on the garment. But for things like the hats, and I've seen 3D foam on beanies and, things that are uh, not going to get a lot of heavy use, use the dense foam. It's very stiff. We're going to see some differences between those. Let me see if I can bring that up. Like I said, I ran some samples yesterday. Not overly happy with, where'd they go? It's not in here. All right, we'll just open it up, right? Do, 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 do. That's the wrong one. Do. Okay. Do, 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 do. Okay, so I ran 4 samples for you. Each one of these samples uses uses the same letter H. Each one uses 40-weight thread, 7511 needle. Um, each H is 50 millimeters tall. Uh, and this is what I want to show you. Can you see? Let's see if we can increase this a little bit. This one here is a 3 millimeter soft foam. And the thing that I see, and this is, again, it's a soft foam. Oh, hang on. I got to go check some stuff. Need the rain. Try to keep it. Thank you, Barb. Try to keep it in Minnesota. Moisture. She needs the rain. Cindy, you do charge. Cindy's asking. She's talking about pricing being her first concern, especially when doing a case full of puff caps. You do know that this is a premium product, and you charge more for it. I'm sure you do. Barb, you ordered Bonnie Nielsen's Punch Digitizing for Embroidery. It's an awesome book. Yes, I already have a copy. Yes, I ordered another copy. And I did that because my first copy, Bonnie autographed it for me, uh, which means I don't want to do anything with it. So the second copy I'm going to use for making notes. You like the samples? You like the samples? And Cindy says that her son just got his copy and ordered it a couple of months ago. I'm waiting to hear his comments on the book. I love that book. Doug got a copy. He ordered his from Germany. Oh, the price of the foam. Yes, you can get 3D foam in several different embroidery vendors. Um, Make sure to look for dense or soft, whatever your preference is. Um, and note the colors. If you're going to be, in this case, I digitized blue thread, red thread, purple thread. My foam color under all of these is a gray, except this one. This one's yellow. Yep, that one's yellow. Um, you want to try to match as much as possible, and I'm going to show you something in a bit. Yeah. They got a bunch of those books. They ordered a bunch of them to make them available for sale. They're going to go fast. I'm glad you got yours. Okay, back to foam. So this is a soft foam. Do you see this right here? Let me make that bigger again. This right here. When the machine pulls the stitches, yeah, most dense is very pricey. When the machine pulls the stitches, it's just like cinching shoelaces on your tennis shoes. Pulls the stitches, it cinches things down. Soft foam is going to give you a more rounded edge because it is soft and the machine is pulling, so it's going to pull it. And at the ends, if you remember how to create a foam design, you need to put a bridge where two elements meet. Here's the cross, it meets here, so there's going to be a bridge under here, which is just a matter of some open density stitches. But because those stitches have already happened, this part of the foam is even lower than this part that does not have the bridge under there. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your foam options. You're going to get a more rounded presentation with a soft foam. Now, this is a 4 millimeter dense foam. Do you see how, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Do you see how that edge is raised? Evelyn Warner from Orlando. Well, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here today. We're talking about embroidery. We're talking about 3D puff foam. So the dense foam is going to raise up the lettering and give you a firmer look, nicer, crisper edges. And those edges, the crispness on those edges is going to be determined by two factors. One is Evelyn wants to learn about how to do 3D foam. I've got some classes I want to present to you at the end. They're not my classes, but they're from a very good source. So anyways, you're going to get a more crisp foam. You're going to get a more crisp edge look. It's going to give you a nice, sharp, much sharper corners. And again, we're going to talk about how to get better, sharper corners. Now, here we go. This one's terrible. But this one is also a soft foam. And it's a 4 millimeter soft foam, but do you see again how everything is just rounded? So your foam is going to dictate a lot of how your presentation is going to look after it's done. Mm, sorry, we had cat walk through. This one, what is this one? Oh, 6 millimeters. And again, 6 millimeter dents um, will raise raise up the design file even more. There are people out there that want to do a 6 millimeter raise. One of the things I want to present to all of you regarding this. Remember, I said I ran out of time in creating the foam design, so I pulled one off of the system. This is the exact same design. I did nothing to change any of these. And you don't have to change. I like using a Barb wants to know what my preference is for foam. I like using, excuse me, a 4 millimeter dense. But then remember, I don't do a lot of production. Um, what I want to suggest, though, if you do a lot of production, is get some pieces of each size and um, create your own sampler. All right, but don't do like I did and use the system generated 3D. Let's go back to this. This is all the same file. I did nothing to change the file. I did not until we get to this next slide. Um, so I did not change the bridges. I did not change the end caps. We have some water falling here. The more foam you use, the thicker your foam, the more you're going to have to adjust for these things. The water falling in, and I'm sorry, I cut some of my threads here. The water falling here. I should have pulled this back a little bit more, knowing that push and pull, that it was going to push more. Okay, so that's just some of the basics of foam. Find a foam that you like. Make some samplers for your customers, and then go from there. Now, let's go back to our slides here. Do, do, do. Oh, here we go. This is another one of um, Justin's slides. He's talking about the density of foam. You want a high density foam. And I want to tell all of you, make sure that you're buying a foam that is designed and made for embroidery. Yes, you can go to the local craft store and buy craft foam. And in some cases, it'll work okay, but it does not tear away as cleanly. Um, and then you have massive cleanup. And Evelyn, I know you're saying sorry, I got caught up here. Evan, did I miss something about the 12 inches? Let me know. I'll do a better case of watching for it. But, and I know you said you want to learn about doing foam. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, craft foam just does not tear away cleanly. It's not designed for embroidery. So, however they manufacture this foam, oh, they're talking about snow. Sorry. Evelyn and snow 4 inches, 12 inches. So foam, the fibers in the foam is kind of directional so that it tears cleaner. Uh, Gunnel makes an awesome 4 millimeter foam, a 4 millimeter dent, something to keep in mind. The foam holds up its form, the density of the foam holds up the form so it doesn't flatten out or round off at the corners. It tears off cleaner. Um, like I said, use a good density foam. Softer crafter foams do not tend to hold up well, and they don't. If they will break down. They're not designed for embroidery. They're not designed for being covered. And oh, Letty's here. Good morning, Letty. I want you to see this part of this picture. This is a very crisp edge. This is a softer foam up here. This is a denser foam down here. Now, even your dense foam, there is something you need to consider with your dense foam. You need to consider the density of your stitch work. Let me get that up. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted this morning. So here is some stitch work that I did. This is all 4mm dense foam, but I use different density settings with each one. This 16 is the density setting that I normally use. And I've got some decently sharp corners here. On all of these, you're going to notice this area and this area. And remember, I said I ran out of time, so I didn't do my own design for you. This is the start stitch, and this is the end stitch. To hide those better, the start should have been on this inside corner, and the end should have been on this inside corner. Yes, it would have still been there, but it would not have been so obvious. Okay, so these are different densities. This is the density I normally use, a dot 16. Looks good. Even the dot 18 looks good. But I want to show you, this is a dot 12. This is the default that came across. And I actually, in person, live and in person, let me see if I've got that right here. I do. Live and in person, I'm still not overly happy with the corners. So I'm going to consult with Justin about getting this look. Because that's our goal, right? Isn't that what we all want? Jeff Fuller. Hey, Jeff. While we're here, we are here, what is your density setting to get these nice sharp edges for your 3D foam? Okay, so while we're waiting for that, let me go back to my images here. I want to talk about the class real quick. Our friends, the embroidery nerds, have a website called Embroidery Nerd University. You use a dot 16. Jeff's telling me he uses, like I said, my default setting is also a dot 16. And Jeff, do you get sharp edges like the one we were just seeing? So again, Embroidery U. Yes, Evelyn, that is correct. Embroidery Nerd University. They have some awesome classes there, and they presented 3 classes. And I would just, for you, Evelyn, right now, I would suggest the 3D Puff Basics. They're all very good classes. But start with 3D Puff Basics. You can't go wrong. Excellent. Justin teaches these. They're excellent classes. And of course, that class is, it says the course date starts in April 24. Yes, that's when the class was presented live. This is a recording of that class. And of course, you get all of the lessons that go with it. So Jeff says he does get crisp corners, and the foam makes a huge difference. All right. Going to have to talk to Jeff about what foam he uses. Cindy's right. Evelyn, the needle bar is also a presentation by our friends at the Embroidery Nerd. They have lots of free videos. You can see them on YouTube. Look for, the channel is the Embroidery Nerds, Nerds, and look for the needle bar. That's the name of their presentations. I am so sorry. I'm a little stuttery today, and it's not embroidery foam. Okay, and then I've got one more thing I want to show you. It's not a life or death, must have it kind of thing, but I tell you, this tool is amazing. A few years ago, Justin Armenta created the 3D Puff tool. What makes this tool so amazing, besides the fact that it's easy to use, where'd my pen go? Who took my pen? There it is. This end has a pointy end, but it's not so sharp that it's going to poke into your garment, and it's not so sharp that it's going to break your threads. What you can't see is this other end. This other end, again, it has a nice edge to it. It's an edge that will allow you to cut into the foam to help separate it from the stitches. Again, it has a tapered edge, but it's not so sharp like a knife that it's going to cut your threads. Yes, I have a few of these, but do you think I pulled one out when I did this yesterday and cut my threads? No, I used my scissors. It's, like I said, it's not an expensive tool, but it's one that I have multiples in my shop because I use it for many different things. It's an awesome tool. I can't stress enough how helpful this is. Don't use your scissors to clean to clean up your foam. You're going to cut something. You're going to tear something, and you want to use something that has a point, but not a sharp point. You want to use something that has a spatula-like edge, but not so big that it will not get into those corners that you like. Okay. So, any questions? I know I've been scattered all morning. I'm so sorry for that. Not my best 3D foam and not my best presentation. Any questions while we're here? Any questions? Okay. So, like I said, there were 4 segments in that embroidery toolkit class presentation at Long Beach. You're welcome, Evelyn. Um, there was Bonnie Nielsen's on really tiny lettering using narrow, very small thread. There was Joe Kramer. He presented to us about using sewing thread on your embroidery machine. Today we did Justin Armenta. Not next week, but the week after, we will recap the information that Eric Campbell provided for us. Now, Eric Campbell is another YouTube has a YouTube channel, and his YouTube channel, Eric Campbell, Erich Campbell, is called The Take Up. So look for that. Lots and lots of amazing information in his YouTube channel. So again, in 2 weeks, we'll present the fourth element of the embroidery toolkit as presented at Impressions Long Beach. All right. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I'm feeling very scattered today. I'm glad you got something. Okay, people, I'm going to. Oh, you do not need to be brave. You need to just do it. Just do it. Must try to be brave to try sewing 3D. I have in mind that digitizing the 3D is the key. Yes, digitizing is very much a key. But then again, so is your foam and where you're going to put it. All right, all. You all have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Where's my end? There it is. That fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.